Christian greetings to all listeners throughout the whole world. And this is Blesh Palarao. And I would like to ask a question to Brother Ariel on how could we be able to ascertain clearly the divinely appointed time as the commencement of the period of the 11th hour.
Thank you very much for such inquiry. Comment from Sister Blesh Palarao. And it is really a very timely question. And first of all, in 2SR 234, saying, "But the object of the lesson is for the latter, who are hired at the 11th hour. For the truth of the parable has never been understood by any other company." So that is very plain, brothers and sisters, that among the five company, because there are only five company recorded in Matthew 20. The first call, the second call, the third call, the fourth call, only the fifth call, the 11th hour call, by which they fully understood the truth of the parable in Matthew 20. And for sure, the only reason why they are the only one who understood the truth concerning the parable in Matthew 20, because they are the particular object in view. Or in other words, Israel after the flesh, they had no understanding concerning Matthew 20. The Apostolic Church, they had no understanding concerning Matthew 20. The Millerites movement, they have no understanding concerning Matthew 20. The Seventh-day Adventist Church, they had no understanding concerning Matthew 20. The truth of the parable is understood only by the 11th hour group. And we know that that is pointing to the last generation of men. The saints, which is designed by God to be translated to heaven without seeing death, according to Spiritual Gifts, Book 3, page 26. Now here in White House Recruiter, let me read to you the statement in pages 12 and page 13. "The issue is of greatest gravity. Christ foreknow it would be, and in supreme concern, he projected it in the crowning lesson of his parable of the vineyard. Now that time has come to the last parabolic hour, to the last parabolical hour, he has set the parable ablaze with light, to be progressive as truth itself is. Let us look deeper into the parable now while the light of God is shining on it. How can we know for a certainty in which hour we find ourselves? And if our own call to service has come, we can know only by establishing the time in which the last parabolic hour expires. And to do this, we must first establish the time of the first call for servants, then in turn the time of its successive call, culminating with the last. First, though, pursuant to this end, we must bring into focus the parable's significant points. But at this time, brothers and sisters, I would like to connect the parable in Matthew 20 to Revelation 6 verse 6. Now let us read again in 2SR page 234. It says, "Why only two kinds of cereals brought to view? Why not five? The two cereals are sufficient to illustrate the thought and to clear the lesson. But the chief reason for only two is to draw attention to the first and last calls, because reference is made of but two Israels, namely Israel after the flesh, the descendants of Abraham, and Israel after the spirit, the 144,000. But the object of the lesson is for the latter, who are hired at the 11th hour. For the truth of the parable has never been understood by any other company." 2SR page 234. Now to repeat again, the shepherd's rod plainly told us that the reason why God uses only two kinds of cereals is to draw our attention to the first and the last call. Now what is the first call? Israel after the flesh. Israel going out of Egypt. Now let us read 2SR page 236. It says, "There are only five calls in the parable. First, those who were called early, Israel out of Egypt." So that is the first call, Israel out of Egypt. Now since, brothers and sisters, the shepherd's rod plainly told us that our attention should be focused on the first and the last call. The first call is Israel after the flesh going out of Egypt. Now, to repeat again, why is it that the shepherd's rod connect the parable in Matthew 20 to Revelation 6 verse 6? It's so because Revelation 6 verse 6 is pertaining to the description under the third seal. Why is it that the parable in Matthew 20 is connected to the third seal? It's so because the first call, Israel after the flesh going out of Egypt, is under the period of the third seal. That is under the period of the third seal. Now, even if we focus, for example, brothers and sisters, we will focus now our attention to the first call. First call and then the last call, according to the voice of inspiration, saying the two kinds of cereals are sufficient enough to illustrate the particular object in view. What is the first call? That is Israel after the flesh going out of Egypt. Going out of Egypt. Now, what is the last call? That is Israel by promise, or the spiritual Israel going out of Egypt. So that is very plain, brothers and sisters. We need to draw our attention to the first call and to the last call. But this is in close connection with the proceedings in the heavenly sanctuary, because the shepherd's rod connect the parable to Revelation 6 verse 6, which is the description under the third seal. 2SR page 222. Now, accordingly, brothers and sisters, the third seal, according to 2SR page 221, that is from Abraham to Jesus Christ. That is very plain. 2SR on page 221. The entire period of the third seal covered the period from Abraham to Jesus Christ. Now, let us begin with the call of Abraham, 1921 BC. Now, let us put the entire period, brothers and sisters, to the last apostle who died in 100 AD. Now, for sure, brothers and sisters, the first call and even the second call is under the period of the third seal. That is under the period of the third seal. And that is the reason why the shepherd's rod connect Revelation 6 verse 6, the parable in Matthew 20, because Revelation 6 verse 6 is the third seal, and this call is under the third seal. Now, if we will divide it into three periods in the third seal, from 1921 BC to 1491 BC. That is the 430 years, the first period, or the first phase of the third seal. Now, the second phase of the third seal, the first section of Exodus, under the direction of Moses, 40 years, 1451 BC. And then, from Moses to the time when they reached Canaan, 25 years, under the leadership of Joshua, 1426 BC. So these three phases or three subdivisions of period, all of them are under the third seal. Now, from Joshua up to the apostles, we have the fourth subdivision, and then from apostles, the period of the apostles, or from 1426 BC up to 100 AD. This is the fourth division, brothers and sisters. So even though there are only two cereals, if you will subdivide, brothers and sisters, the third seal itself, it is subdivided into four different periods. Therefore, the 11th-hour call is the fifth one from the proceedings of the five divisions of the third seal, or the first call early in the morning. Now, let us dig deeper, brothers and sisters, into the subject, because the request of the questioner is to ascertain clearly the exact period of time as the commencement of the 11th-hour call. Now, I would like to read White House Recruiter. Here in White House Recruiter on page, let's read White House Recruiter, page 17. Having thus, by the first call for servants, solidly established the time in which the parabolical go-to-work calls started, we are now to ascertain the call time and the work period of the servants although it says of the second call. But let us apply the statement, the call time and the work period of the 11th hour call. And of course, brothers and sisters, in the parable, they work first before they had been paid by 1 penny, represented by everlasting life or granting immortality. Or in other words, in the parable in Matthew 20 verse 8 and 9, at the time that they had been rewarded by 1 penny, the work that was given to them was already finished. Now, what is the work in 2SR page 222 in connection with Revelation chapter 6 verse 6? Now let us read 2SR page 222. It says here, note that the barley is but 1/3 the price of the wheat. In other words, one goes into the field and gathers only 1 measure of wheat and receives a full day's pay. But the other who works all day gather 3 measures of barley and receive no more than a day wage, a penny. And then it says, the symbols have a very close connection with the parable given by Christ. Therefore, let the reader concentrate on the subject, for here is a truth worth our earnest attention. What is the similarity in the parable in Matthew 20 and the symbols in Revelation chapter 6? The similarity is first the reward, which is 1 penny. But in Revelation chapter 6 verse 6, there are only 2 kinds of cereals. But in Matthew 20, there are 5 distinct calls. Now, since Revelation 6 verse 6 is connected to the parable in Matthew 20, therefore the 5 distinct calls are divided only into 2 classes because there are only 2 kinds of cereals. And what are those 2 classes? Resurrected saints and living saints. The first 4 represented by resurrected saints. The last one is represented by the living saints. But the 3 measures of barley in Matthew 20 is represented by the 3 hours interval. And in Revelation chapter 6, 1 measure of wheat is represented, or in Matthew 20, it is represented by the remaining 1 hour before sunset. But the illustration in Revelation chapter 6, although there is similarity, but the shepherd's rod is trying to emphasize that if the command that was given is to harvest barley, in order to receive 1 penny, you need to harvest 3 measures. 3 measures of barley. Or to make a simple illustration, you need to harvest 3 kilos of barley. If the divine command that was given is to harvest wheat, you need only to harvest 1 measure, or in other words, 1 kilo of wheat, then you will be granted the reward 1 penny. That is Revelation 6 verse 6. Whereas in Matthew 20, it is number 3 is pointing to the period of time, 3 hours. But that is not, or the parable does not say that the first call will work only 3 hours. No, because according to the parable, the illustration in the parable, brothers and sisters, is that the first call, he began to work early in the morning or at sunrise, 6 a.m. up to sunset, 6 p.m. Or in the old-time piece of clock, that is 12 to 12. So here, brothers and sisters, the first call illustrated, he worked 12 hours, the entire daylight. And the next call, second call, since he had been called at 9 a.m., and the next is 12 noon, and the next is 3 p.m., and the last one is 5 p.m., only 1 hour before sunset. So the 5 distinct calls, they work different periods of time, brothers and sisters. And of course, the shortest is the 11th hour call. Those who had been called at the 11th hour. So in that illustration, brethren, according to the shepherd's rod in 2SR 225 and 226, it can never be fully understood unless the parable in Matthew 20 is connected to Revelation chapter 6, verse 6. As we stated, that it is pertaining to the proceedings in the heavenly sanctuary. And the parable in Matthew 20, brothers and sisters, if we will study in connection with the subject of the 7 seals, can only be applied from 1844 onwards. So, when it is concerning from 1844, I would like to enumerate again one by one. Although it is a long study, the very first group or the very first case that had been considered in 1844 are those who will be resurrected in Revelation 20 verse 5 and 6. That is the first general resurrection. And who are they under the first general resurrection? They are those who died first seal, second seal, fourth seal, and fifth seal. Now, in these proceedings, brethren, the only part by which has a connection to the parable in Matthew 20 is the fifth seal. The first seal is not a part in Matthew 20 because it is during night time. The second seal, because the first seal from Adam to the flood. The second seal from the flood to Abraham. The fourth seal, that is from Christ to 1500 AD. But the fifth seal, that is from 1500 AD to 1755. And the last generation of the fifth seal are the only one who is apart in Matthew 20. Who are they? The Millerites movement. So the proceedings in 1844, I would like to put here 2011, and we will explain it later. In reality, brothers and sisters, has no connection with the parable in Matthew 20. Because those who have been considered in the proceedings in that period of time, the third seal is not a part in these proceedings. And concerning the fifth seal, it is pointing to the last generation under the fifth seal. And what is the last generation under the fifth seal? Now, let us put from 1833 to 1843. That is the Millerites movement. Now, let me read to you the Millerites movement. So, at this time, maybe I need second part of such question of Sister Bless because the question is very broad. It needs more time to have a definite answer concerning the question. But if you are interested, then maybe we will answer it more clearly on the subject, the opening of the seventh seal. Now, I would like to read White House Recruiter on page 19. It says, the only revelation of new prophetic truth subsequent to the Reformation is the announcement of the year in which was to begin the work of cleansing the sanctuary, primarily in behalf of the dead, based on Daniel 8 verse 14, but not then fully understood, as its announcement was made by the first-day Adventists. It necessarily follows that they were the third group of servants with a new and distinctive message, and as is well known, they started proclaiming it in the year 1833, announcing that the cleansing of the sanctuary was to commence in the year 1844. Thus, in 1833, the clock of parabolic time struck the hour of 6. That is the last 10 years under the fifth seal. The last 10 years under the fifth seal, which is the third call, the Millerites movement. But in 2SR, I would like to read 2SR page 221. Summary of commencement and termination of seals. The first seal covers the entire period from Adam to the flood. The second from the flood to Abraham. The third from Abraham to Christ. The fourth from Christ to 1500 AD. The fifth from 1500 AD to 1755. Why is it that the fifth seal is up to only to 1755? Showing, brothers and sisters, that the last generation under the fifth seal, they have a special proceedings in the heavenly sanctuary. Other than those brothers and sisters who are under the fifth seal from 1500 AD to 1755. The people in that generation of time is not a part of the parable in Matthew 20. Therefore, the proceedings from 1844 to 2011 has no connection at all in Matthew chapter 20. Therefore, also to the answer of the question of Sister Denafe Rebecci, we would like to declare that the parable in Matthew 20 is in connection with Revelation 6 verse 6. What does it mean by Revelation 6 verse 6? That is the time of the closing work for the church, or the closing work of the judgment in the heavenly sanctuary, not the beginning work. Because in the beginning work, the cases that undergo such proceedings has no connection with the parable in Matthew 20. Who are they? The first call, the Israel after the flesh going out of Egypt. Who are they? The second call, Apostolic Church. These two, the first call and second call, is under the third seal. And who are they? Under the third call, the Millerites movement. But what is the period covered by the fifth seal? 1500 AD to 1755. Why? 2SR 221. To let us know that the last generation under the fifth seal is a part of Matthew 20, which is the third call. They have a special proceeding which is not a part of the proceedings of the first four seals since 1844 to 2011 concerning the first seal, second, fourth, and fifth seal. So we will continue this inquiry. At this time, it is still unfinished, and we will discuss it later, and we'll give you the exact period of time, the commencement of the 11th hour period, and hoping that you will abide listening and viewing this program. May the good Lord bless you and have a beautiful, wonderful evening.
Thank you for telling my question, and may God bless this program.